Hello, good evening to all.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, we are going to have a very beautiful session today, right? I'm going to unmute everyone. At the end of the session, we are going to unmute you. Now I'm going to mute you all to avoid disturbance, as this session is going on live. The YouTube live, where 1,000 people and above will be watching it. Doctors,
Okay.
it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mridul Sahani, sir. I take the privilege of being the PG student of GDM Medical College, Patna. He was my teacher, my guide, my philosopher, everything. Today's topic is hypothyroidism. You know pretty well, hypothyroidism in India, we have around 11%. Whereas in USA and UK, it is only in 3 and 4 digits, 3.7 and 4.6% of the population are suffering with hypothyroidism. Doctors, I see many students here also along with doctors. Sir is going to throw light on how to convert the patient's language into rubrics, how he has given the medicine and how well the medicine has worked. His experience is indispensable to all of us. Right? Here, a small introduction of a very tall man. Dr. M.K. Sahani, sir. He is PhD, Chairman of RISDTH. He is an PG coordinator of GT Memorial Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Patna. I carry the pride being the pedigree of that college. He is the president of Bihar Voluntary Health Association, ex-chairman Education Committee of Central Council of Homeopathy. He has many feathers in his hat. He looks simple, but he has many things to be added. Furthermore, let me just tell about him. Mridul is such a nice name. I love that name. It is the gentleness of a person. Let me read out a small write-out about Mridul, sir. Dr. M.K. Sahani, PhD, is a renowned international famed homeopath who roused from the very modest beginning. Being named as Mridul Kumar Sahani, he has realized the dreams of his parents, who wished him to be soft, calm, gentle. He infilled in himself the fire-like passion for homeopathy, which has become the part of his life. He roused to be the chairman of Education Committee of Central Council of Homeopathy, India, and has distinction for contributing the present curriculum of BHMS. Presently, he serves as professor at GD Memorial Homeopathic College, Patna, Bihar. Beside his clinical practice, he is the chairman of RISDTH. It is a research organization meant for the development of study on dynamic nature of homeopathic medicine. He has widely traveled across the globe. He has attended international level of meetings and presented papers in international seminars, has given lectures on the international platform at Paris, Moscow, Brazil, and many other countries. His passion of dynamic medicine made him to practice homeopathy only with transmission mode of administration of medicine. Friends, today I stand here before you. I am Dr. Gayatri Devi of Dr. Gayatri's Homeopathy at Hyderabad. I have done my PG from GTM Medical College, Organon and Philosophy. As I said, I take the privilege of calling my teacher before you to present because he has multiple indispensable experiences. A few glimpses of that. Pranam Sahani sir. Hello sir, please unmute yourself, Sahani sir.
Okay.
Sir, please unmute yourself. You're visible to me.
You are able to listen to me?
Yes sir, yes sir.
I have to share my PPT, so you have to open the
Yeah, I will do it, sir. I'm doing it for, I'm opening my share screen.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
so I welcome you to this dais to speak on hypothyroidism. And at the end of the session, I request all practitioners and students to put your doubts in front. You can just put them on chat so that I will be assisting you, or at the end, we will be unmuting the session so that you can ask sir your doubts. Sir, please carry on. Sahani sir, आपको कोटि कोटि प्रणाम.
Pranam.
Ji sir, please carry on.
Okay. I'm just putting on my PowerPoint.
Yes, sir. There are already 52 participants have joined. I'm going to put the link, the YouTube streaming link in the chat box. Friends, please share your link as many as 1,000 people can listen to Sahani sir today. At the age of 68, Sahani sir is pure techie. He knows many points on PC which we don't know. Is a good software technical person. Sir, please.
Yeah, I have just put on my our PPT here. So, good afternoon to everyone. It is very nice moment for me to share my opinions and views regarding homeopathy. I know Dr. Gayatri, who is such a dynamic lady, always willing to learn. This is her passion, and she had been constantly in my touch, and we had been sharing many of the informations regarding the homeopathy. She has a very great passion for the homeopathy, and I appreciate Dr. Gayatri's efforts in organizing this seminar for all of us. Friends, today I am going to discuss some of the points which are very important for our practice, day-to-day practice, as well as to develop and uplift our understandings for the making more incorporating more. So openness is very important for learning, and so that you can see and you can observe many of the things are there. Many changes are going on in homeopathy, and this process of change requires that we should also understand where we have to change and where we have to stand. Changing and standing, these are the two phenomena that we have to keep in before us. We have to be flexible, we have to be strong. Both the same at the same time. So I am coming up with a small project that we have conducted about the hypothyroidism. I'm not be speaking too much about the hypothyroidism because the way I treated or practiced this medicine, hypothyroidism, is something different. So I'll be talking about the mode of administration that I used in these cases, and then I will be, with the explanations of the cases, I will be trying to let you know how the totality of the hypothyroidism in homeopathy has the different meanings. How the totality, because we are not treating them by the name of the disease, but we are treating a patient by the totality of the symptoms. So totality of the symptoms is very important for us. So these slides will help you to understand the mode of administration of medicines, as well as how the totality has been drawn for the same disease, hypothyroidism, in different patients. So with this, I resume my, I start my presentations with you all. It is applied homeopathic transmission modes in the cases of the hypothyroidism. Now we all know that the versatility of the homeopathic principle has its applicability in different type of disease, irrespective of the nomenclature provided to them. The modern system has given the nomenclature to the disease, but we, as a homeopath, we have the only nomenclature used is the totality of the symptoms. It varies from individual to individual. So principle based on understanding of totality of symptoms as representative for all type of the disease. Symptoms ranging from spiritual to the physical remain unified through the common features provided by the vital principle. It only requires to bring a changes in the deranged vital principle. This is our objective. We have to think about, so this, keeping in mind, we all as a homeopath, we have to keep in mind totality of the symptoms, treating the vital principle, selecting the medicines for the deranged vital principle, and the rest will be done by the medicine. We don't have to think about what the medicine is going to do. But when you follow the principles, when you follow, we have to be, it is like the karma. Our karma, we don't expect for the results, and results will give you the karma. The karma implies the results within it. So we don't think we have to think about the karma. Hahnemann's principle of symptoms similarity requires understanding of the patient as a whole, where the dynamism acts as binding force. All the elements are there. 108 elements of the periodic table are within our life. We have the carbohydrate, we have the, and they are organized in such a way that we look like differently from each other. Every elements are there, and we are different. So this similarity at the internal plane, but the reflections and at the dynamism is something different. This is very unique understanding that we have to keep in the mind. This deranged vital dynamism is corrected with the intervention from similar nature of dynamic medicines introduced inside the life fields dynamically. How we are treating this dynamic, deranged dynamic? We are using the dynamic medicines, the medicines which have been diluted to such an extent that not a single molecule is there present there. It has crossed the Avogadro's number. This is very unique for the entire medical science. It is a challenge for the homeopathy to accept this philosophy. And if you don't keep and don't understand this philosophy, you are not going to practice the homeopathy in a proper way. Mode of administration. Now, how the question arises, how this dynamic medicines, what is the process that it enters into your life? It has to be digested. It has to be put into the domain of the life. It touches your nerves, whereas Dr. Hahnemann says no touching, no. It is directly acting on the vital principle. So administration of homeopathic medicine has a vital role to play in bringing a change towards the cure. Friends, Hahnemann himself searched and experimented with a different mode of administration, dynamic medicines of homeopathy, through applying to the different conventional methods. Dr. Hahnemann in his time, he tried a different mode during his time. He was using the oral methods, he was using the tactual methods, he had written about the olfactions by smelling the medicine. And he had also observed that olfaction is much more better than the oral methods. So with these things, we have to now think that what is the actual mode. Now, breaking the conventional principles of medications for the physical body with material substance. Conventional principles, what is the usual concepts are there in the medicine science? Medicating the physical body with the material substance there, because the thinking is very limited to the body only. So they think about the material body, medicines, material body. So that's something. But Dr. Hahnemann has brought a paradigm shift towards the treatment of vital plane with the immaterial medicines by developing a medicinal substance beyond the material, It is only the encumbered mind which kept all away from accepting the. If your mind is fixed, you are not able to understand the homeopathy. Not a single molecule being present in homeopathic medicine has remained a controversy in spite of its existence with infinite number of evidences presented through the clinical case. This is very important for us. Dr. B. Sahni, he was my father. He experimented on the administration of homeopathic medicines from a distance, and it has proved that it is the most compatible mode of administration of the as it reflects the dynamic pattern. Transmitting from a distance, it is touching the medicines, dynamic medicines. It touches your aura field and it starts acting. This is the process that is very important for us. Friends, administration of medicines are bridging gap between the patient and medicine. The patient and medicines, they need to become closer. And for homeopathic system of medicine, with a dynamic vital life, where dynamic medicine has to be administered. So friends, be conscious and be strong enough to believe that we are treating the vital principle. Medicine is not meant for this physical body. Medicine is meant only for the vital body, vital principle. And the vital principle will take care of the body, physical body. We don't have to think about the body. And this is the way of our life. Dr. Sahni's transmission mode becomes quite natural. Experimentation has proved it to be the most compatible mode of administration of homeopathic medicine. Our present case study, what we did, applicability of distant mode of administration of homeopathic, we took up the cases of hypothyroidism. We took up some cases of the thyroid and wanted to see how the effects are there. Selection of homeopathic was done most classical way by following the totality of symptoms with constitutional understanding of case and using symptom similarity principle with suitable rubrics taken from the synthesis laboratory. What we did, we selected the patients, we individualized the case, we took the case history, and the basis of the case history, we drew the totality of the symptoms, and then we made a repertorial totality, and on that basis, we got the medicine. And this medicine was administered into the patient. So, the selected medicines was administered from our OPD, from our clinic to the patient, residing at their dwelling place through the hair taken from the patient. How to transmit? We must have the media. So we took the hair of the patient and then we put it into the medicine's vial and it became the transmitting state, and it starts acting. Results were observed for the changes and followed up with the progress in most classical way of homeopathy. We were the changes, and changes was the evaluation was done by the 12th observation, Hering law, whether it is following the Hering's law or not. 10th observations for subsequent change was strictly adhered to make subsequent change in medicines as well as their potency. And we use only 50 millisimal potency. Friends, I am following the most classical way. The Henneman's last version was to use the 50 millisimal potency. In my clinic, in my practice, and at this age, I am not deviated from, I am using the centesimal or decimal scale. I am using only 50 millisimal scale. Only those medicines where I cannot get the 50 millisimal, at that time seldom I use the centesimal scale. So use of 50 millisimal potency was considered in accordance with the instructions as laid down in 6th edition of the Organon of Medicine. So this was one of the objectives. Patients were followed up even after the laboratory reports proved to be within the range to observe for any relapse. So when the laboratory reports were normal, even then we continued on treating the patients, observing the patients.
Sir, Sahani sir.
Sir?
Sahani sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, sir, just stop your screen sharing and restart it because it came and it went away.
What you please repeat?
Screen sharing, sir. Screen sharing.
Yeah.
You stop it and then restart it.
Okay.
It has come and gone.
I have to go back.
No, you do your screen sharing, sir.
I'm doing the screen sharing.
Go to the screen sharing option.
I have shared the screen.
Yeah, it is Alt 5. Redo it once again, sir. Alt 5.
Okay, okay. It is uploaded.
It's not coming. Sir, stop your screen sharing and restart it once again.
Okay, okay.
Stop it and restart it, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it has started. Applied homeopathic transmission. Yeah. Now it is clear, sir.
I will have to start from this place.
Yeah, the screen. Yeah.
Okay, so
Wonderful, sir. It is visible.
going back.
Yes, sir.
Right from the first slide. Now this is the first slide. I am repeating again. This is the presentations on applied homeopathic drug transmission in cases of hypothyroidism.
It is very clearly visible, sir. You can proceed.
Okay, okay. Then versatile nature of homeopathic principle has its applicability in different type of disease, irrespective of the nomenclature provided to them. Based on understanding of totality of symptoms as representative for all types of the disease, symptoms ranging from the spiritual to the physical level remain unified through the common features provided by the vital principle. It's only requires to bring a change in the deranged vital principle. I have tried to explain. I'm just reading out the slides right now to that where I have earlier I had gone. Then homeopathic Henneman principles of totality of symptom similarity requires understanding of the patient as a whole, where the dynamism acts as the binding force. The deranged dynamism is corrected from the similar nature of dynamic medicines introduced inside the life fields of the dynamic energy. So, mode of administration of homeopathic medicines has vital role to play in bringing a change towards the core. How we are administering. This is very important for us. Now, Dr. Henneman has searched and experimented with the different mode of animal. You go through the organon of medicine and you will feel that Henneman was in search for the appropriate mode of the administration of the medicine to be applied and beyond. He was not satisfied with the conventional mode of putting into the mouth because he was aware that our medicine is not material, it is dynamic, it is something beyond the material. So oral, tactual and olfactions, these are the widely accepted conventional methods for administration and dominated in every system of the medicine. Every system of the medicines has got this. Oral administration instilled in all medicines principle became the instinctive mode of administration both for the practitioners as well as the patient. So breaking the conventional principle of medicines from principle of medications for the physical body with material substance, Dr. Henneman brought a paradigm shift towards the treatment of vital principle, vital plane with the immaterial medicines by developing a medicinal substance beyond material. So our homeopathic medicines are like that. Not a single molecule are present in the homeopathic medicine, and there are a lot of the evidences that these medicines, 200 years has passed, millions of the patients has been cured and it has been affected, and it only proves that these dynamically medicines, they are effective. It is only encumbered mind which kept all away from accepting the reality. Friends, Dr. B. Sahni, who is my father, he experimented on the administration of homeopathic medicines from a distance, and it proves to be the most compatible mode of administration as it reflects the dynamic pattern. Administration of medicines are like bridging a gap. What do you mean by the administrations? We mean the bridging a gap between the medicines and the patient. For homeopathic system of medicines with a dynamic vital life where vital medicines has to be. Now it is quite natural, similarity, the law of the similia. The vital body, vital principle, how you are going to apply, you have to use the vital medicine. And disease is what? It is vital disease, dynamic disease, that is the miasmatic disease. So vital body, vital life, vital disease and vital medicines. This is the similarity Dr. Henneman wanted to adopt. And for this, he practiced and he thought of and he brought a new type of the medicines that is called the dynamic potentized medicines that all we are using nowadays. Dr. Sahni transmission mode of becomes quite natural experimentation has proved to be most compatible mode of administration of homeopathic medicines. In our present case study, applicability of a distant mode of administration of homeopathic medicine, we took up the cases of hypothyroidism. We took some of the cases to demonstrate how these things may happen. So, selection of medicines was done in most classical way by following the totality of symptoms with constitutional understanding of case and using symptom similarity principles with suitable rubrics taken from the synthesis repertory. For everything with the homeopathic, case taking was done, totality of the medicines was drawn, and then constitutional understanding was done, symptom similarity, and the rubrics were taken from the synthesis repertory and selection of the medicines was made. Selected medicines was administered from our OPD to the patient residing at their dwelling place through the hair taken out from them. We took the hair from the patient's part of the body. We put the hair into the medicines vial and we kept it in our clinic. And then the results was observed with the subsequent changes and follow-up in the progress. It was just the progressive follow-up was like the most classical way of the homeopathy. We made a Kent's observations for subsequent change to be adhered to make subsequent changes in medicines as well as in their potency. Use of 50 millismol potency was considered in accordance with the instruction as laid down in 6th edition of the organ. I am using only 50 millismol potency, which is the final verdict of our master, Dr. Henneman. Followed up after the laboratory was proved to be within the range of any further relapse. So this our objective is to prove that the homeopathic medicines are getting cured. Now, we randomly selected 15 patients attending our clinic diagnosed as suffering from hypothyroidism as classified under ICD-10 CM diagnosis code E03.9 per hour. So whatever we did, we only followed the guidelines. International classification, all those cases which qualify the quality of the ICD-10 diagnosis code, we took those cases into our study. Now, the process was like this. Case history was collected from the patient as per the case taking most classical to the homeopathy. Each case history was analyzed for selection of proper rubrics for the selection of homeopathic medicines through radar software. We used the radar opus at that time. A strand of hair was taken out either cut or uprooted from the head of the patient. Then selected medicines was taken in 50 millismol potency and diluted in water in a 5 ml vial, and 10 strokes was given. Then strands of hair taken out from the patient is inserted in the vial containing diluted medicine. This is termed as transmitting set. It is put in safe cupboard after putting proper code number allotted to the patient. When the hair is put in the vial of transmitting set, it is termed as transmission on, and when the hair is detached from it, it is termed as transmission off. Patient was advised not to take any oral medicines and report for progress every 15 days. Follow-up progress was noted when the patient revisited the clinic after 15 days. Homeopathic observation of the case was followed up and changes in medicines was done considering the principle of complementary follow-up inimical antidote as per homeopathy was adopted. Now, this is the results. Out of the 15 cases, 11 cases completely resolved. It was said to be cured. I don't say cured, I say resolved. Then 3 cases were moderately, and in 1 patient we didn't find any response. It may be due to some of our own faults, or it may be due to the other causes. Now, I am illustrating some of the case. It is a case, file number is there. It was taken on the 12th January 16. She is a female of 40 years, 65-year age. The presenting complaints was hypothyroidism suffering from the last 4 years, breathing difficulty aggravated by walking, palpitations and cough, exertions rest, allergic to dust, and the obesity. In the past history, nothing was significant. Family history, father was a retired person and he had a dry cough. Mother was a housewife, hypertensive. She was 2 brothers and self only. She was married in 1996. Husband was a police inspector, and she had 1 son and 1 daughter. Now the mental setup. She was a graduate. She was a housewife, having a sedentary lifestyle. Concentration was difficult for her. She was so much engaged with several household work. She was a short-tempered lady, weeping after anger, mild and silent, less interest in religious activity, desire to remain in bed, changes in life. She wanted the change in the life. This was very important things there. She was a graduate, she was an educated lady, and she was put into the house as a housewife. So this was the conflicting point for her. Teeth was fallen out, throat was dry with the cough, became vegetarian after the marriage. She was non-veg person, but this is here also she has to make a compromise. In the life also she has to make a compromise. Nausea, vomiting tendency after eating, stool constipated, palpitations after walking and exertion, and respiration was difficult with the cough and palpitation. Back pain lying long, and swelling of the body in the whole body. Laboratory findings was that you see the TSH 12.05, ESR was 20, and ovarian cyst was there. We took following rubrics for repertorization. She didn't want to, because she was indifferented, so she wanted to remain. So we converted this into the mind, bed, remain in desire too. You find wonderful rubrics in your repertory. Mind, memory, weakness of the proper name. She want mind, change, desire. She want the change in the life. She wanted that she should have some occupation. She was a graduate. She wanted that. Then she wanted that something should be changed. So these are the important things that we concluded at desire for the change. Then we took the particular rubrics: nausea, drinking after, chest palpitations, exertion during, chest palpitations, cough during, respiration difficult, cough during, and respiration difficult, palpitation during, and general hypothyroidism. With these rubrics, we came to a conclusion that the case was of the pulsatilla. Pulsatilla 0/1 was selected because pulsatilla has a changeability and better reflected in the patient, and pulsatilla 0/1 was transmitted through the hair on 12th January 2016. Case was monitoring was done through the TSH and other physical and mental symptoms. Now you see the repertorial sheet. You see the position of the pulsatilla. It is covering all the rubrics here, and it stands first here. And the pulsatilla changeability has been transformed as a change desire for. See, every pulsatilla, I see the pulsatilla like this. The pulsatilla is not don't have a fixation. She has the things that there should be something new. That's why she is changeable. So this was the for our consideration. The follow-up was done. You see that it was started on 12th of the January. On 16th January, dry cough persists, yet feeling better. Then on 1st February, cough better, swelling less. 22nd February, freshness, swelling better by cough. Then TSH came down on 15th March, and on 16th June, steady progress maintained with regular reporting, but not seems to be stagnated. Now again in October, we got a report of the TSH which came down to 2.15, and no change. We have only upgraded the medicines from pulsatilla 1 to the pulsatilla 3 in June. In January we transmitted 0/1, and in June we transmitted 0/3. And then on 14th February next year, TSH was reported to be 1.05. Case was followed for 2 years. Still, it was followed 2017, 18, 19, and it has maintained a steady maintenance of the TSH. So this is a wonderful explanation that you can see how the single medicines, when selected on the basis of the symptom similarity and the totality, after proper studying of the case, it works. So in all our 15 cases, just you see the type of the medicines that we applied. In one case, it was pulsatilla. In 4 cases, it was Nectrum muriaticum. In 3 cases, it was Silicea. In 2 cases, it was tuberculinum. And in 2 cases, it was sulfur. And Nux vomica was given to 1 patient and arsenic to the 2 patients. And medicines were selected from the general pool of the homeopathic medicines only on the constitutional basis. Now coming to the another aspects of our understanding through this case. Now you see the Nectrum muriaticum totality. 4 types of the Nectrum muriaticum. I am giving you the different rubrics setup. The first Nectrum muriaticum, it took 16 months. Mind grief silent, introspections, weeping easily, food desire fish for, fasting amorate, face greasy, throat, thyroid glands complaints of music amorate. Here I have not taken any rubric. And the medicines that was is the Nectrum muriaticum. So this is one type of the Nectrum muriaticum. Now another type of the Nectrum muriaticum is the external throat glands, thyroid glands complaints of hypothyroidism, anger easily. See the contrast. Fear ghost of, consolation amorate, face swelling, puffy oedematous, cold heat, and she was better with the heat and cold, everything, and she has a bit liking for the cheek, and the obesity was there. The medicine is Nectrum muriaticum. Another case of the Nectrum muriaticum, company aversion to alone when ameliorate, brooding in nature, consolation aggravate, salt desire, sedentary habits, hypothyroidism, sun exposure to, this was the pain was there, and there was a perspiration on the nose. So Nectrum muriaticum again. Then another case of the Nectrum muriaticum, sleep position abdomen on. See how different way the totality is coming. And we are not thinking about the hypothyroidism. We are thinking only about the Nectrum muriaticum. Every time Nectrum muriaticum, but Nectrum muriaticum is presenting in a different way. And this is the beauty of your repertorial approach. If you follow this understanding, you don't have to think about the medicine. So back pain, lying on back ameliorate, sour foods, then swelling, past disagreeable, dwelling on the past disagreeable occurrences, weeping alone when, selfishness, air draft aggravates, and constipation, stool remain long for the time. Sometimes. This is Nectrum muriaticum. Now see the 2 silica cases. Mind affectionate, consolation aggravates, swelling puffy oedematous, weeping spoken to when, fear pins off, obstinate, thyroid glands, and perspiration on the scalp slip during, Silicea. Another Silicea, external throat swelling of the glands, fear poverty of, anxiety future about, elements from contradictions, mildness, weeping desire, head pain fasting aggravates, respiration difficult, exertions after, Silicea. So Silicea coming in a different way. My purpose is to tell you that it is not important that you go to the medicine. You only see the totality and you get the medicine. It may be the same, it may be the different. Now another case of the Silicea, it took, now the time mentioned are the time that took, that for the period it was treated. Swelling gland, thyroid, weeping easily, consolation ameliorate, difficult exertions after, fear disease impending, anticipations abrupt, and fear of the animal foods like. So this is the Silicea. Then another Silicea is thyroidism, food and drink, sour foods desire, aversion, abrupt, anger easily, stool remaining long, obesity, cover ameliorates, desire for, and activity desire. It is Nux vomica. So then tuberculinum case of the thyroidism, traveling desire for, history, personal history of the tuberculosis, anger violent, mind abrupt, salt desire, cover ameliorates, general cover, difficult adjustments after, face greasy, and fear of the dog, tuberculinum. Then another tuberculinum, mind elements from grief, silent grief, weeping spoken to when, throat swelling, thyroid glands, greasy face, respiration difficult, open air ameliorate, perspiration on the nose, cover ameliorates desire for, general food, fish desire for, tuberculinum. Now another case of the sulfur, 2 sulfur, elements from anger, anxiety, a fastidious, weeping anxiety after, appetite capricious, hypothyroidism, standing aggravates, reading desire, and difficult air opening, sulfur. Another case of the sulfur, puffy oedematous face, hypothyroidism, fasting aggravates, difficult respiration difficult, dust edge from, chest operation ascending aggravates, fear happens something will, mind absorb, and abuse of the allopathic medicine. Here also the case was sulfur. Now the 2 cases of arsenicum, anticipation aggravates, elements from anticipation, avaricious nature, cover ameliorates and desire for, hypothyroidism, dryness, thirst with restlessness internal, respiration difficult, air in open, and difficult accompanied by arsenicum. Then another case of the arsenicum, general swelling of oedematous, fasting aggravates, anxious respiration, operation clothing aggravates, difficult evening, medicines allopathic abuse of, cover ameliorates desire for, and warm food desire for. This is the arsenicum. So different way. So what we have seen, irrespective of the nomenclature of the disease, irrespective of the nomenclature of the disease, you have to only, it is like they playing a chess game, putting the rubrics and on the repertorial grid, and you are getting the medicine. It is simple, it is very easy to handle, only you have to develop a skill for practicing. So we have proved that homeopathic drug administration through transmission of medicines from a distance, so here for hypothyroidism patients are quite effective mode, most compatible with the homeopathic principle. This expresses possibilities of research in dynamic medicine, and there stands mode of methodology for its use. So thank you very much for this lecture. I am going to share another case, and I have to upload another presentation here. Okay, I'm going to upload another presentation.
So what is it? What is it you have told us now?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Yes, please repeat.
Why? Again.
What is it you have said just now?
I said I will be uploading one more case.
Okay, you are going to share the screen, right, sir? Right, right.
Let me
Please
allow
go
me
ahead.
to share one more screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thyroid is such a subject where many people are suffering nowadays. It has become a very common household disorder, the endocrinal disorder. When we see in vast, it is mostly seen in suppressed feelings, the way the females have more suppressed feelings. जैसे हलक में ही बात दबा के रखते हैं.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
So, my slide is uploaded now.
No, sir.
I have uploaded it. News sharing.
You redo it, sir. You stop it and restart it again. It's not visible.
Okay.
It's not visible yet. You stop it and
Yeah.
restart it again.
Okay.
इसको अलग कर दे, इसको अलग कर दे, डायनेमिक इसको मिसिंग कर दे, अलग कर दे,
इसी में कर दो।
कंटिन्यू।
हाँ। It is shared now.
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं आया है, नहीं
And
आया।
again, I have to again put it on.
Neelaveni Tanguturi has a question to ask, but Neelaveni, we will just wait for the session. At the end of the session,
Okay.
sir will definitely answer your question.
I am ready to answer, but let me say that it is shared or not.
No, it is not shared yet, sir. It is not shared yet. Yes, sir. It has come.
Okay, that's
So
good.
it's visible on the screen.
So, I know every one of you love perfumes, and many of them they are love, and many of them have the hates. But with this, I have given the title "Perfume Love: A Case for the Dysmenorrhea." I have selected this presentations case for your presentations only because I want to demonstrate how I arrived at some of the rubrics that I have selected for this case. Now, there was a patient. She was 35 years old. She appeared in our clinic for her consultations, complaints of severe dysmenorrhea. Now, what I noticed as she entered my chamber, the whole chamber was filled with the fragrance of perfume. And I was wandering around to look for the patient. I was thinking, no, she is not the patient. She might have come as an attendant with the patient. So I was trying to look at where is the patient? Look for the patient, thinking that she must be the attendant. So as she sat before me, immediately spoke about the problem. Then I realized, yeah, she is the patient. So you see how she presented herself. She put me into the problem, confusion. She is not the patient, but she was the patient. So I realized that she was the patient. So this was a wonderful experience for me to feel that sometimes the patient comes in disguise. And you may also be facing this type of the situations in many a time. But it gave me some clue. It gave me some clue what she has got the liking. As she entered the clinic, we observed her to be nicely dressed with a smiling face and good manner. It appears as if she has no problem and she came as an attendant only. So, patient as a person, what I saw, she was a smiling lady. She has no problem. My first impression was that she has not problem. And she was speaking very nicely, very gently, and she was just like a very gentlewoman. She was a graduate. I started inquiring, and now housewife with 2 children. She was actively looking after the household work. At the same time, she was engaged in society activity, in club and entertainment program. She was ambitious, but could not pursue it as marriage, which took place while she was still a student. As husband was well posted in service, they dropped the idea of getting engaged. So for her, the money was not problem, environment was not problem. So they stopped the idea of getting engaged. So they gave up the idea. The presenting complaints, she was having acute pain in hypogastric region on abdomen 1 or 2 days before the onset of the mens. Pain was acute, cutting, and She was confined to bed and had to take painkillers. During the mens, pain was reduced yet continued till the whole length. After the mens was over, she was relaxed. She was active otherwise and had no complaint. She told this pain was most depressing state and concerned with what will happen with her future life. She used to get some frontal headache off and on, which was worse from the sunlight. This was our observation. This was the present complaint and the associated complaints for her. Among the past complaints, menarche start was unnoticed. She had no problem. Then only after the first childbirth as a cesarean, this pain is persisting. The child was there, and after the childbirth, this was a cesarean birth, and after that, this pain started. The family members, father was now old, retired from the active service, and he had no other complaints. Mother is also housewife and used to have some pain in the knee. She has the 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and she was third in the serial. She was married at the age of 25. Husband is an executive officer in the government sector. She had 2 children and they are okay. Mental state, well behaved as we observed, with readiness to adopting the new life. Her memory was active, rarely get angered, but when it came, she behaved violently. Fear of darkness was there. She liked social activity. Music and traveling was her favorite choice. She was formal religious.
देखो इस कहानी सर है पटना में प्रैक्टिस करता है सबसे बड़ा क्लास में
She liked fast food with pungent and spices. Disliked fish and the third was stool was often non-constipated.
हुआ था उसका मीटिंग में
After the menstrual discharges, mucous liquorial discharge was there during the rest of the period. And sleep was normal with vivid dreams. She liked to take bath regularly. Perspiration was normal. She liked winter session. So this was the history. This lady is conscious of the body and mind and had ambitions but compromised with the situation. This is very important understanding that we should think about the patient. It still expresses her with the present lifestyle in the society. She accommodated, she adjusted, and she is enjoying the life. Lively but easily mixes in society as she feared of pain. She opted for cesarean birth for the first child. Now, the question was there. Why she got the cesarean? I asked why she was cesarean. Oh, doctor, I don't want to bear the pain. Intolerance for the pain. That's why she preferred to have a cut, to have the cesarean, the surgery, to avoid the pain. This was the important milestone for her. She was unable to tolerate the pain. Case has no other past history of any suffering. Sora is dominating in this whole history. You see the turning point came during the life, and only because the intolerance of the pain. So what we selected? Now the first rubrics was very clear. Mind, perfume, love to use perfume. This is wonderful rubrics that you can have in your repertory. Then she was very cosmopolitan. For this I took, she was mixing with the society, gathering and mixing so many people. So I took this rubric. See, the Kent has classified traveling desire to be the cosmopolitan people. Those who love having the more and more relationship and meeting people. So this was, he had put the traveling desire. It is being carried in the synthesis also. We should have used this word cosmopolitan better than the traveling desire. Anxiety, pain from. Now this is the question. He was not here trying to face the pain. And now some physical menses, pain before. Genitalia, delivery after complaints. The problem started after the delivery. And the fear of the dark, her anger was violent and she was very communicative lady. Can you think about the medicine? Yes, it is phosphorus. Perfume love for traveling desire, anxiety, pain from, yeah, all the, you see how beautifully the phosphorus was covering. Then now this is the case report. Treatment started in January 18. Phosphorus was the selection. It was transmitted through the air as usual, as I do. Then menses appeared on the first 24th January. Menses appeared, pain was little less. 25th February 18, next mens appeared, no pain, only uneasiness persisted, which she felt as normal even before this problem. And 26th March, follow up with no pain. Case was followed for another 6 months, and now she has forgotten about the pain. And on the September month, we stopped the treatment. So this was the beautiful case of the single medicines where I utilized two important rubrics. The first rubric was perfume love for. That was the first impression that came in my mind. The second rubric was the effect of the changes in the life and the way of the life. How she accommodated, and the phosphorus has a wide accommodative capacity. So with this slide, typical expression of spheric phase of phosphorus, perfume in mind that loves mixing with other and feeling of cosmopolitan connectivity. What is the meaning of perfume? Means to get connected. In present lifestyle, we can observe many such expressions. We only need to observe minutely. So your observation is very minute. What you see, what you observe, that is very important. What you listen, keep listening, keep observing, and develop a skill for this. So I am reminded with a beautiful quote. Perfume is the key to our memory. It is Kate Lord Brown quotes is there. And with this, I thank you for this second case. So thank you. Any questions? I'm not. Yeah, please. I'm not able to listen. I'm not able to listen.
Sir, very rightly. Phosphorus is a lively drug. They are the lively people who make the environment where they are also very live. Like the perfume, they spread like a fragrance. And they are always in love-seeking people. That is the phosphorus. Very truly said, sir. And are there anyone who is ready with the questions?
Yeah, I can. I'm ready to answer.
Yeah.
What is the question?
Yes, doctors. If you raise your hand, sir will assist you to answer your question.
उधर से आवाज नहीं आ रही साहब, उधर से आवाज साफ नहीं आ रही.
We are not getting the clear voice.
Chat.
Sir, 1 second. Sir, please hold on. Yes, Neelaveni Tanduri, you have raised your hand. Do you have any question, ma'am? Dr. Neelaveni. Okay. As thyroid is an organ which is controlled by the brain stem. Yeah. Sir, they have asked one question in my private box. They are saying, can you throw few more rubrics on thyroidism? How do we, 1 or 2 rubrics? How can we catch a case? Thyroid.
I'm not getting the.
Regarding hypothyroidism, they are asking you to tell a few more tips.
I'm not getting the voice properly.
Voice is not proper, sir. Am I audible now?
I'm not properly getting the voice.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
Now it is clear. Now it is clear.
Okay, okay, please. One second.
You please repeat the question, sir.
Sir, they have. Is my voice audible?
You are audible. You are audible, but the doctor is not audible.
Yeah, they have question in the private box. They are asking you to tell something more about hypothyroidism, because more cases of hypothyroidism and PCOD are seen nowadays.
Okay, okay, that's good, good, good. Friends, thyroidism, what do you think about the thyroid glands? What my understanding is that the hormone are the linking factor. Hormone are the linking factor for the mind and the body. And nowadays, in the modern lifestyle, this linking factor, thyroid, connects the body with the mind. And when this connectivity is disturbed, system is disturbed, that creates the disturbance in the thyroid gland. And with this hormonal disturbances, lot of the problem arises. There are no particular set of the symptoms that you can have. No particular set of the symptoms. There are varied symptoms are there. But according to our homeopathic system of medicine, we have to forget about the thyroid words. We have to look into the lifestyle, life situation. Where is the separation when you get a case of the hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, both say? What you have to do? You have to think about where is the separation between mind and body. Because when mind and body don't work unitedly, the problem arises. Mind wants something else and the life situations want something else. When these two type of the situations are there, definitely a contradiction is going to happen. And with this contradiction, there is a disturbance, the breaking point in the connectivity. This is my thoughts about the hypothyroidism. Whatever may be the literature, the practice of medicines, all those descriptions are there. I'm not going to detail into it. But my understanding for the hypothyroidism is like this, that it is a contradictions between, and lots in nowadays, the present social structure, we are getting lot of this type of the patient where connectivity is get lost. One want to say something and he don't want to have the something. He don't get the, and the contradictions starts. A girl get married, she was very well to do it before the marriage. After the marriage, there was a restrictions, the change in the lifestyle. Before the person was very, very poor, and now they have abundance. So traveling from one set of the life to the another set of the life, or getting a constant repeatedly change, it creates a stress on your mind. And this stress, it limits the body and it limits the things to get spreaded into the other parts. And with this, the problem arises. This is the understanding. If this understanding, this philosophical understanding is developed, you can exactly practice the homeopathic medicines, and they are very, very effective. They are very effective. You might have seen in some of the cases that I had presented, I have not used the terminology hypothyroidism. In some it was there, but in many of them, no terminology of that hypothyroidism was used. And in spite of that, undergoing into the milestones of the life, I selected the rubrics and I got the medicine and the patient was. So I don't have to bother about the hypothyroidism. I don't have to bother about the COPD, and both the situations are the similar in nature. COPD also same. CPOD also the same. All the modern terminology are depicting the deviations or separation of the mind and the body. This appropriate relationship between the mind and the body, The three plane of the life is there: mind life, mind, vital plane, and the body. And they have to be in coordination, and that is called the health. But when they are not in coordination, what will happen? Definitely there is an imbalance. COPD is also hormonal problem. Hypothyroidism is also hormone problem. Hormone are meant for harmonizing. It came from the word harmonization. Harmony, hormone or the harmony. I say harmony. Harmonization is important, and harmony is lost. Harmony is lost, and you get the problem. This is the situation that we have. So I feel this is my contention. This is my understanding about all these modern disease.
Yes, sir. Very rightly said that when the hormones in the body are disturbed, the harmony of the body is also disturbed. I see one doctor, he is asking a question. Please ask your question, doctor.
Good evening, everyone, sir. Namaste, sir. This is Dr. Devasi Kamani. Can I speak, madam?
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Good evening to you.
Good evening, sir. The hormone systems are orchestrated in the pituitary gland, and from there, the other glands are activated. Can we also activate the pituitary gland to regulate our thyroid and parathyroid and other hormones in the body, sir? With our medicines in a potentized form.
Yeah.
Is it appropriate, sir, to be able to see that because of the congenital anatomical lesions in the body, in the brain or something like that, or some tumor or resting like that, the action is not taking place properly in the brain pituitary. Can we do something like that? Any experiences? Thank you, sir.
Very good questions. Thank you for this very to the point questions for this hypothyroidism.
Yeah.
So you are very right that there are the main glands, there are the subglands. So there is a chain of the glands, thyroid, hormonal glands in the body. I am drawing your attention towards the chakra. The body whole, to control the body, there are the 7 chakras. So control the whole harmony, we have the hormonal system in the body. Hormonal system of the body. This is the arrangement that God has provided to us. Hormonal system. So it has brought some, like a chakra, there are the 7 chakra, there are the different hormonal pattern in the body, hormonal system in the body. This is one point. Another point that what you talked about, which was the genetically transference, the problem coming in this is evolutionary process. Then there are the accidental introductions of the disease into the patient's life. That development of the tumor, development of the cancer, development of the other situations. So they are the milestones. They are the milestones. So they may be the introductions of all the thyroid hormonal problem. It may be either genetically set or it gets introduced into the patient's life, introduced during the patient's life. So either it is coming from the family pattern, either it was there due to some of the accidental entrance in your life or your present lifestyle. So 3 levels we have to think about it. When we are talking, we have to think at the 3 levels. Either these cases are coming from the genetic transference, next point, either it was drawn during the pregnancy, the poor bringing up, or it was accidentally happened something and with the outcome there was a changes in the life situation, and then the final and the most important is the present lifestyle, how you are living and what is your the state of the mind, body and things. So where the problem starts, this is important, and it is quite right that you will be receiving some patients who have the genetically transference of the patient disease. Then who have the patients who have the coming up with the inborn mind. Then there are the patients who are getting the problem during their life journey, and then the adaptations. So we begin the life, we have to start the journey, and then there are many turning points in the life, sir. And the present life, your attitude, your totality, the present totality, it reflects your lifestyle. So all these three planes are the opportunity for getting the problem. I say opportunity for getting the problem. This is very important for us. Opportunity, where the problem started. Where the problem started. This we have to keep in mind, sir. You are quite right. I am also agree with you that the problems are there, and when you think now, that's why Dr. Henneman, what he spoke, he talked about the syphilitic mind, he talked about the psychotic mind, he talked about the soric mind. Now you just think, I'm just giving you an example of suicidal dispositions. And how many remedies it contains? There are about 60, 70 remedies under the repertory. And when you classify all these medicines, you will see some medicines are syphilitically dominant, some medicines are psychotically dominant, and some medicines are sorically dominant. Now, whether it is right to say that the suicidal disposition is a syphilitic mind? No. It is a psychotic mind? No. It is the situation that makes the situation syphilitic, psychotic, or soric. So with this understanding, you have to keep the entrance point, getting that accident. So many factors are there that needs consideration for our framing a disease picture within us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Very nice exposition.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, why there are so many cases of hypothyroidism, sir, nowadays? Because I think 15 years before we used to see very less cases, but nowadays it is like almost out of 10, mostly women, out of 10, almost 5 to 6 people are having hypothyroidism.
I say out of 10, it is 9 are hypothyroidism.
Or is it like we are we overdiagnosing it, or the iodized salt is the culprit behind it?
We are deviating from the nature. In the disguise of the modernizations, lifestyle disorder. I was working with the Voluntary Health Association of India.
Now, what about the iodine, sir? Is like more iodine causing the hypothyroidism?
They are the secondary. They are the secondary. They are not the primary. Body has the capacity to absorb iodine even from the less iodine sources, only as a supplement. This is the secondary thought. One, as a homeopath, you should think about addition of the iodine is not so much important. Not so much, because diet, when you have having a balanced diet, then adequate iodine is you are getting. But why you are not able to accept the iodine which is available in your diet? Why you have to take extra iodine? Why the salt has iodized salts you are using? What is the effect going on? So that's the lifestyle disorders. It is the lifestyle disorder which is very important for us. We have to understand the lifestyle disorders, and lifestyle disorders are creating a great impact on the type of the disease, deprivations as well as exaggerations. Both is happening. We are getting abundance of the things, but we are getting deprived of the energy. We have everything we have a lot of the money, but we are not able to spend them wisely. It is being lost. So these situations are very important. Yeah, deprivations of the iodine, we can have the supplements, we can use them supplements as for the maintenance basis, but not on a whole time basis. As a homeopath.
So, sir, if it is a lifestyle disorder, is it like just giving the homeopathic prescription, is that enough, or I feel the lifestyle has to be changed? That is the primary thing.
What
And
doc-
then additionally, if we give homeopathic prescription, what do you say? I mean, is only homeopathy
No.
will work, or they do have to change their lifestyles?
See, only homeopathy will not do. Because maintaining factor, what Dr. Hahnemann speaks about, how when the medicines has to be given an environment. And for the treatment purpose, it is not our duty to select and prescribe medicine. Our duty is also to advise the patient to change their lifestyle, their diet, their exercise. So the things where when you study, make a case study, why you are taking the case study? The purpose of the case study is not only to get the right totality. The purpose of the case taking is to what type of the corrections you can do without medicines also. There are many of the situations where no medicines is required. So whole of the medical system has been divided into two: interventional medicines and non-interventional medicines. Non-interventional medicines only suggestions and the change in the lifestyle will do. Yoga practice will help. Some meditations will help. Music will help. No medicines will require if only lifestyle is there and if it is at the soric level. But when it has crossed the level, then to make the commit back, brought it back, some intervention has to be done with the homeopathic medicine. At that time, medicines work. So medicine and counseling. I say medicine and meditations. Medicine and meditation both have the same root. Same root. Medi, both. So medicine and medicines, they work combined, and then only any type of the medicines will work. It happens to every system of the medicines, not only homeopathy. Everywhere you have to think that the medicines will not work alone. If you let the patient live the same style, there will be relapsing, so again new disease will be coming. So keep in mind, counseling is the important part for your practice, medical practice, homeopathic practice, whatever you are doing. Yes?
Any questions, doctors? Any more questions? Please unmute yourself and ask your question to the sir. Yes. Homeopathy is a vast ocean.
Homeopathy is a vast ocean, definitely, madam.
Yeah, it's a vast ocean. Understanding is from person to person. Yeah, any questions, doctors? Venkata Raghav, yeah. Any questions? Please unmute yourself and ask the question. Dr. Shruti. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, how long?
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, how long this hair has to be kept in the water like that? 50 millisiemen.
Yeah, good. Now this is the regarding the administration when you have the medicines, and then it has to be put there as long as the in the right direction.
As long as
the medicines is acting positively. Like what you do when suppose you give the oral medicine, when you repeat, make a repetition. Only after, not in between, but whenever you need. So when the hair is put inside the water, medicinal water, you have to keep it, let it be there. And when the action has started, you have to observe the action, and you can see till the changes is going better on the better side. So you don't have to make any change. Let it be there. Let it be there. Then whenever you see there is aggravations,
okay.
but when you see the wrong effect is going on, then you have to discontinue the medicine. If you feel the action of the medicine is slowing down, what we do, we give the strokes to the medicine vial
Okay.
so that the medicine is energized. It is like making a repetition. Giving the stroke to the vial is like a repetition of the medicine, and medicine start acting again.
Okay.
Sir, there is another question from Dr. Shubhasri.
Yeah.
She is asking how to choose between oral therapy and transmission therapy.
Whenever you think of giving the material medicines, you think for the oral medicines. And whenever you think of giving non-material medicines like homeopathic medicines, you have to select for the non-material mode like this transmission. Material transmission goes through the mouth. Non-material transmission goes through the energy plane. Our medicines are, when you are trying the potentized medicines, you have to think for the drug transmission. When you are using the mother tincture is the material medicine. They don't have the dynamic property. They are only the solutions. So they are acting as at the lower plane of the body. So when the lower plane of the body, you think of giving mother tincture, you can give them orally. But when you think of giving the potentized medicines, you have to think about the distant administration.
Is this
Yeah.
program could be found in YouTube?
Yeah, madam, you are on live YouTube, madam. You can review it again also. I have already put the link into the chat box. We are on live stream on YouTube.
But I can find it later even on the YouTube, just the same program.
Yeah, you can just do it. I have just left my phone number in the chat box. I'm just retyping it. Be connected to my thing. I'll definitely send it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. May I
Thank-
ask a simple question?
Yeah, definitely. Ask.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
Is tuberculosis, whether it is cured or it is not cured with the allopathic medicines, could be affected to a man for its fertility? You got it?
Please repeat, sir. Please repeat.
The tuberculosis, if it is cured with allopathic medicines or it is not cured with the medicines, could it affect to the fertility of a male person?
Your question is regarding infertility, fertility after the having treated with the medicines and patient got cured.
The tuberculosis, TB.
Yeah. See, the tuberculosis if it has the extended forms, if it has affected the entire plane of the body, there are the chances of affecting the fertility also. But every time it is not like that. It depends on how the medicines was prescribed and how much impact of the disease was there and how long the medicines was continued. You have made a very right questions here. I have seen a patient where the tuberculosis was there, and after that tuberculosis, the patient has developed the seminal deficiency disorder. We took the rubrics. There are the rubrics in radar, radar opus.
Yes.
History of tuberculosis, and there are history of tuberculosis. So I took that rubrics, and along with that rubrics, other symptoms were accommodated, and we got the medicine, and that system was cured. So there are chances that after tuberculosis, there may be the impotency, or there may be other, not only impotency, any type of the disease may be there as a side effect. This thing usually happens as a side effect after the allopathic medicine. Myself, I had the pleural effusion. I am talking about my own life. I had a pleural effusion some 9 to 10 years back.
Okay. Okay.
Compared yeah.
Anyway, in case we find a simillimum, really like a good remedy to the person, this tuberculosis is a question mark whether it was cured or
Yeah.
not totally cured after 6 months of the treatment of allopathic medicines. Still, we have better chances the person could be cured with his fertility.
Our homeopathy has the potentiality to cure the medicine even if it is in the chronic states.
Okay.
Can I ask one small question, sir, to clear my doubt
Uh,
here?
Thank
Hello?
you. Thank you very much, doctor. Thank you.
Yes, doctor.
Thank
Sir,
you.
sir, one small question, sir, here. I got the book 1983, sir, Unformed Regions of Homeopathy, a treatise on radiesthesia by air transmission, Sultan Alam M. Bihari. That book I am having, sir. Can I also follow that book for from your lecture now, sir? Small question.
Yeah, tell me, sir, questions.
I had the old book, sir, 1983, written by Dr. Sultan Alam M. Bihari.
Yeah.
It is on Unformed Regions of Homeopathy, a treatise on radiesthesia by hair transmission. Is it the same radiesthesia also hair transmission, one and the same?
It's not
Just I wanted to know.
No, hair transmission is different than the radiesthesia. The meaning of radiesthesia is different, and hair transmission is just putting like the medicines into the hair of the patient into the patient's medicines.
Okay.
So it is not radiesthesia. It is just a transference of the dynamic. It is called the transmission of the dynamic energy through the from a distance.
Okay, sir.
It is quite different. Radiesthesia is quite different, and hair transmission, we call it drug transmission instead of hair transmission. We are transmitting the actual energy of the medicine. In radiesthesia, there is not like that. It is something completely different type of medicine. But our homeopathic medicines, it has the only mode required is through the dynamic mode. So it is giving an example. Hair transmission is like the dynamic mode of administration for the homeopathic medicine.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It is like imponderables, like energy to energy level transmitting, and also the pharmaceuticals are not getting more 50 millismoles, it seems, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Anyway, thank you very much.
In our region, we are sufficient. We have the sufficient
Imponderables, like energy to energy level transmitting.
Yeah.
Also, the pharmaceuticals are not.
Yeah, doctors, for your information, I would also share that Sir is and chief editor of Homeo Tarang. It's a magazine which is in Hindi and English. Homeo Tarang. You can subscribe this magazine, and there are many cases where all these transmission cases are put in.
Okay,
This is for
thank you,
your kind
thank you.
information. The
Okay.
magazine name is Homeo Tarang. It is both in Hindi and English languages.
Both are separate edition. Hindi is published separately. English is published separately.
Yes, both are published
Okay,
separately. Yes. So with this, it was a wonderful session. Hope the participants have enjoyed your experience. And with this, we conclude the session. Shall we conclude the session? Would you please unmute yourself all and thank Sir for being
Thank you
with
very
us
much.
and sharing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
I enjoyed all the company and
Thank you, sir.
being with us.
Thank you very much.
Sir, it has been wonderful. I thank you once again on behalf of all participants and hope to see you again and again.
Definitely,
Thank
I'm
you.
always available. I'm always available for the homeopathy.
I
am-
know, sir. I know, sir. Thank you very much, sir. With this, I conclude the session. Bye bye to all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Bharat.